Narrowboaters. Well, at the time of filming this, today is the 1st of December. It's as far as winter as far as I'm concerned. It's not very cold outside, but we've had virtually an entire week of grey, cloudy, rainy weather. And this is causing me problems. Generally, I quite like the winter. It's quiet and peaceful. But there's a lot of things which make life even more difficult. The main thing being is keeping the batteries charged. You'll find that during the summer a lot of boaters will talk amongst themselves and they'll all be discussing things like emptying toilets and things like that. But as soon as winter comes, everyone starts talking about battery charging. All the power for my boat comes from the solar panels. So if we get a few days of cloudy weather, then it really does cause me some problems. The other night the battery voltage went down to about 9 volts and I had to just shut everything off and wait for the next day and hope for a bit of sunshine. That didn't happen. So it's been a tough week, and it is impacting on my video making quite a bit because I simply can't spend that much time on the computer. If the weather changes, we'll be okay. I'm actually moored in quite a good spot for solar, provided we get some sun. This is always the problem in the winter. You can easily go for a week or more and not see the sun at all, and then that causes problems. My batteries are pretty old now. Normally I get about 3 years out of a set of batteries, and this is the 4th year for the ones that I'm currently using. The only difference is that they're a different brand of batteries, and I'm also using a desulfator device on them. So maybe that has actually extended their life a little bit. I don't know, the jury's still out on that one a bit. But even so, the battery performance has declined. It's noticeably a bit worse than last year. So they haven't actually failed yet, but we'll see how it goes. For me, I think the worst thing about winter is not so much the cold, although that can be a major problem. But provided you've got some fuel supplies in, it's not usually too bad. Now for me the main problem is the darkness. The nights are far longer than the days. You know, by about 4:30 it's dark, and it doesn't usually get light till about 8 o'clock in the morning. So, and especially when the batteries are low, I just don't know what to do with myself in the evenings. You kind of feel trapped, and you kind of get cabin fever as well. Very often, even if there is somewhere to go out to, I just wouldn't want to do it anyway, because quite often you'll be surrounded by mud. The towpath will be in a right state, and you've got to trudge through a load of mud to get anywhere. More often than not, there's nothing nearby anyway. I mean, I don't really like going to pubs, so that means there really is nothing to do in the evenings apart from possibly go for a walk, and I don't really fancy doing that in the dark. So it sounds really sad, I know, but in order to save battery power, very often I'll just go to bed and read, you know, and that could be 7 o'clock in the evening. You know, it's not unusual to just to be in bed for 12 hours because there's nothing else to do. Winter can be quite testing, really. Obviously, if there's something really good on the TV, or if I can use the computer, then I will do that. But this is not always possible. In a previous video that I did, I was sort of moaning a bit and complaining about the distances I have to cycle to go and get shopping. But in the winter, this is quite good to get me away from the canal and to get me away from the boat for a while. You know, I do quite enjoy getting away from it all. You appreciate it more when you come back then. Having said that, in the winter you can have some really bad snowy or icy weather, and you've got to go shopping anyway, and that can be downright dangerous or impossible depending on how much snow there is. You know, it's quite feasible to get stuck with at least a mile from the nearest road, and they're not always gritted, so you know, you need to be prepared to hike to places sometimes. It's not so much the dark nights, it's the fact that every night is like that. You know, it's the same for, you've got about 6 months of darkness on your own, you know, and I don't really get lonely so much. It's more boredom, and frustration, because there's always things that I want to do and I'm not able to do them. You know, this previous week I've had loads of ideas for videos and simply can't even attempt them because there isn't enough power in the computer to run the computer to make the video. You know, things have to then just get put off to a nice day, and the trouble is, when a nice day does come up, you found that you've put off lots and lots of other jobs to do on that nice day as well, because it's the only day you can do these things, and so then it just becomes a terrible rush to get things done. Life can be very frustrating on the canal. You do not see this on the TV programs. You will not see this on probably most other vlogs. I just want to tell you how it can be. And of course, if you're living on a boat, you know, as a couple, being sort of crammed in together for that amount of time with nothing much going on, well, most of the couples I know do tend to drink quite a lot or have huge rows. You know, some get on fine, but you know, it puts a strain on things all the way round. So I've been thinking a lot about all sorts of new types of videos to do, and I've got lots planned, lots on the to-do list. They will be done as soon as I'm able to do so, really. I would like to point out, though, because I recently I've been playing around with some infrared video and the kaleidoscopic one like that, and I noticed a lot of my subscribers really like that sort of thing. But at the same time, I noticed that I'd lost a lot of subscribers as well, and which was a bit disturbing, really. A bit sorry to see that happen. But the point is that my channel is a channel, not a series. So on the channel there will be a variety of different vlogs and videos, and for me the fun of it is in experimenting and learning how to do these things. You know, that's what I really enjoy to do. So there will be more of the same to come, but they'll also be doing lots of different things as well. So please bear with it. If you see a video that you're not too keen on, please don't unsubscribe, because chances are the next one I do will be something you do like. Here's Mr. Bushka. He's sitting down beside me. He's feeling a bit sorry for himself at the moment. I noticed the other day that he'd had some evidence of tapeworm on account of all the mice and things he eats. So I wormed him this morning, and he's not very pleased with me, but hopefully he should feel better soon. That's the price he has to pay for all his fun. Of course, as soon as he feels better, he's going to go out and catch and kill and eat more mice, so I get reinfected, no doubt, before long. But I think that's actually about the first time I've ever seen evidence of tapeworm in any of my cats before, which is unusual. Well, I mean, they must have had them, but I've never actually seen evidence. You know, like they look like little white grains of rice around his bottom. Not that I make a point of looking at that sort of thing, of course, but you can't help but notice these things sometimes. Anyway, hopefully Bushka will be feeling a bit better soon. Midge Cat has found a new place to sleep. He sleeps in the bathroom sink now. That used to be Bushka's little favourite sleeping place, but Midge, for the first time in 6 years, he suddenly discovered that it exists, and now I can't get him out of the sink. It's a bit of a race for the bathrooms in the morning, because he'll quite happily sleep there all day long. You may have noticed from the last video I uploaded that I've changed the intro and outro animations for my videos. Took a long time playing around with that on the computer. That's partly what killed my batteries off and took them down to 9 volts. But it was good fun to do, and hopefully it looks a little bit better and a bit more professional. So I hope you like it. All these things are subject to change. I keep revising things, keep trying to make them look better. Well, it's been raining all morning, but now it's 20 past 1 in the afternoon. The sky outside is still cloudy, but it does seem to be brightening up a little bit. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to get this, it'll be bright enough to allow me to get this onto the computer and record it as a vlog. So hopefully it won't take me too long before I can get it onto YouTube. You never know. You can never trust the sun around here. Whenever you need it to shine, it's always cloudy. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.